In this tutorial, I'm going to share with you the 4 steps you can take to end a panic attack immediately. Too many people experience frequent panic attacks and end up living their lives in fear and avoiding situations that frighten them. Fortunately, you can learn how to end panic attacks in as little as 3 minutes. Here are 4 steps you can take to stop a panic attack immediately. Step number 1. Relax. Try to calm yourself by taking slow, deep, complete breaths. Try to remember that you are only having a panic attack and that nothing more serious is happening. Continue to relax by taking slow, deep, and complete breaths. Doing this will help to relax your body, which is the first step for reversing the release of adrenaline, which is what starts a panic attack. Step number 2. Stop negative thoughts. Stop the negative thoughts that are taking over by shouting "stop" inside your head. This helps to disrupt the emergency message that your brain is sending to your adrenal glands. Often, when you are suffering from a panic attack, you will fall into an endless loop of repeating the same negative thoughts over and over again. Disrupting this infinite loop provides you with the opportunity to replace these negative messages with more positive and calming ones. Step number 3. Use coping statements. Use a positive statement that is at least as strong as the negative thoughts that you are experiencing. You want to choose a statement that addresses the negative thoughts. Brainstorm the kind of fearful thoughts that are bringing on your panic attacks, and make a list of coping statements that you can look at when you need to think of a positive coping statement. For example, if you think you are having a heart attack, which is common in the middle of a panic attack, you can try telling yourself that you are only experiencing a panic attack, and if I just relax, it will be over. Step number 4. Accept your feelings. It is imperative that you accept your feelings, as minimizing the experience will only serve to perpetuate it. Start by identifying the emotion that you are feeling and determine the reason why you feel it. Then validate the feeling as well as the basis for feeling it. Fear is a positive emotion that reminds us to take care of ourselves. Listen to your feelings, take care of yourself, and keep your feelings in proportion to the situation. Follow these 4 steps when you are experiencing an anxiety attack, and you will be able to stop it immediately. In this presentation, I'm going to provide you with 5 common signs that you're experiencing an anxiety attack. If you've never experienced a significant panic attack before, you may be skeptical about the condition, what causes it, and its impact on the mental and physical well-being of those affected by them. If you experience an anxiety attack, you may confuse it with another condition, like a heart attack or stroke. It is crucial to learn the signs of an attack if you want to learn how to treat them. Here are 5 common symptoms that you're experiencing a panic attack. Difficulty breathing. One of the main signs that you might be experiencing a panic attack if you have difficulty breathing. This has a lot to do with the increase in your heart rate during a panic attack and can lead to significant chest pain and a more intense panic attack if not treated quickly. To combat this, you have to focus on taking slow, deep breaths. Pain or tightness in your chest. One of the most notable signs of a heart attack is chest pain and tightness. However, this isn't always an indication that you're having a heart attack. Due to the quick and shallow breaths that you tend to take during a panic attack, it can feel like a general tightness and chest pain. Unless you have already been diagnosed with a significant heart condition, chances are the pain in your chest is a result of a panic attack. Needing to avoid people or places. If you have a panic disorder and have experienced panic attacks in the past, you might be hesitant to spend time with people or in places where you've had previous attacks. Anticipatory anxiety, which is a part of a more considerable panic disorder, can affect the way you look at people, places, and things that are associated with previous panic attacks. Meditating regularly can help you overcome this anticipatory anxiety. Nausea, sweating, and lightheadedness. In addition to difficulty breathing and chest pain, other significant signs of a panic attack include sweating, nausea, and lightheadedness. Taking rapid and shallow breaths can intensify these symptoms and even lead to the emergence of new ones. To combat these symptoms, it is best to sit down and take slow, deep breaths. Agoraphobia. In extreme cases of a panic disorder, agoraphobia can emerge. Agoraphobia involves a paralyzing fear of being in public spaces and interacting with strangers, and often arises from panic attacks and panic disorders. This can leave you unable to visit places where people are present or leave you fearful of leaving your home. For those who have never experienced a panic attack before, the symptoms are often confused with other medical conditions. If you experience any of the above symptoms, it could mean that you are dealing with a panic disorder. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the 5 foods that you should stop eating if you suffer from anxiety. Eating the right foods, like those high in protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and vegetables that contain antioxidants, can help us fight off many mood disorders, including depression. However, if you eat the wrong kinds of food, that can make symptoms of anxiety and depression even worse. If you suffer from a mood disorder or experience panic attacks, then it is essential to avoid eating these 5 foods. Coffee. A potent stimulant, coffee can often worsen existing symptoms of anxiety and often create anxious feelings in people who don't usually suffer from anxiety. This is because caffeine significantly increases levels of cortisol in the blood, which can make you stressed out. In fact, the relationship between the two is so strong that consuming less caffeine has been linked to less depressive symptoms and a lower risk of suicide. Alcohol. While you may be tempted to drink a glass of wine to help you get through your nerves, drinking alcohol can actually worsen your mood and contribute to your symptoms of anxiety. If you are experiencing a withdrawal, it can worsen your symptoms and affect your nervous system, including dramatically increasing your heart rate. Sugar. Like alcohol, sugar can increase your negative feelings and anxiety. Sugar is known to cause a spike and dramatic drop in your blood sugar levels, which can significantly affect your moods. Drastic swings in your blood sugar will increase adrenaline and cortisol levels, which have been shown to cause panic attacks. Trans fat. Not only is trans fat, but also known as hydrogenated fat, one of the worst foods for your health, but it also does a number on your moods. Studies have shown that trans fat, which is found in many junk foods like French fries and packaged snacks, actually increases your risk of depression. Prolonged consumption of trans fats can lead you to experience more anxiety-like symptoms. Gluten. Many people have found that they have an intolerance for gluten that can manifest in the form of anxiety and panic attacks. Avoiding gluten can help improve your mental health, and removing it from your diet might help decrease your anxiety symptoms. If you suffer from anxiety, you can decrease your symptoms by avoiding these 5 foods that have been proven to make symptoms worse. In this presentation, I'm going to show you 5 ways to overcome fear and anxiety. Anxiety is a normal and healthy emotion that everyone has felt during their life. However, it can manifest into a mental disorder that can decrease your ability to cope with feelings of anxiety. Developing the ability to deal with anxious thoughts is key to overcoming fear. When you find yourself becoming overly concerned, here are 5 ways to help you calm down and regain control. Short-circuit anxiety by breathing. When you start to breathe quickly and your breaths become more shallow, it is the trigger that propels all the other anxiety symptoms into action. By controlling your breathing, you can start to control the other symptoms of anxiety. If you start to feel fearful, stop what you're doing and focus on your breath. Take a deep breath in, counting to 7 quickly in your mind, then slowly breathe out, counting to 11 quickly. Do this for a minute and you'll find you can quickly calm down. Hit the gym. There is a clear link between exercise and anxiety management. Those who don't stay active or exercise regularly are more prone to developing anxiety disorders. Exercising releases neurotransmitters that have an uplifting effect on your mood. Participating in regular exercise is the best way to help manage your anxiety. Take magnesium. Recent studies have discovered that some people may be more susceptible to anxiety-related symptoms if they are undernourished. Besides dehydration, the next biggest culprit points to the role of magnesium. Unfortunately, magnesium is typically stripped away from most foods due to the way it is processed. You can reduce some of the physical symptoms of anxiety by including a magnesium supplement in your daily diet. Take some time out. Taking a moment to step back from your problems can help to clear your head. Meditation is a great way to calm your mind and focus on the now. Regular yoga practice can also help you limit the anxiety symptoms that you experience. Know yourself. Try to gain an understanding of your fear and anxiety. Start by keeping a thought diary and begin noting when you experience stress and what happens. When you determine what causes your anxiety, you can try to start setting small, achievable goals for facing your fears. Learning how to overcome fear and anxiety will provide you with the ability to focus on what you want to be and do. It will take some effort on your part, but will be well worth the effort. In this presentation, I'm going to share with you the 6 signs that indicate you might have an anxiety disorder. Everyone deals with anxiety from time to time. However, for some people, constant worry starts to take over their lives. It's not easy to tell if your common anxiety has turned into a disorder. Here are 6 signs that indicate that you might have an anxiety disorder. Worrying excessively. Worrying too much about everyday things, both large and small, is a hallmark of generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, the broadest kind of anxiety disorder. If you have persistent anxious thoughts every day for 6 months or more, it could indicate you suffer from GAD. Sleep issues. If you have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep on a regular basis, it could mean that you are suffering from an anxiety disorder. While this isn't unusual to find yourself lying awake, worrying about specific problems or nothing in particular, it could be a sign of GAD. Another clue that it might be an anxiety disorder is if you wake up feeling wired and you're unable to calm yourself down. Crippled by irrational fears. If your anxiety is attached to a specific situation or thing, like flying or crowds, and that fear becomes disruptive and overwhelming, it is a sign of a phobia, which is a kind of anxiety disorder. Although phobias can be crippling, they're not always obvious. Muscle tension. If you experience near constant muscle tension, this often accompanies many anxiety disorders. It can be so pervasive and persistent that people who live with it for a while often stop noticing it after a time. Regular exercise can help keep muscle tension under control, but cause a flare-up if their exercise routine is disrupted. Chronic indigestion. While anxiety might start in the mind, it can also manifest itself in the body and result in physical symptoms like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, a condition characterized by bloating, gas, stomach cramps, and diarrhea. While IBS isn't always related to anxiety, it often occurs together and can make each other worse. Perfectionism. The obsessive and finicky mindset, known as perfectionism, goes hand in hand with anxiety disorder. If you are always judging yourself or have a lot of anticipatory anxiety about making mistakes, then you probably have an anxiety disorder. If you exhibit any of these conditions, it could mean that you are suffering from an anxiety disorder. The good news is that many of these symptoms can be managed through simple strategies that can help you get back control of your life. In this tutorial, I'm going to provide you with 6 steps for overcoming anxiety. Daily stressors like deadlines and traffic jams are enough to cause anyone to feel anxious from time to time. If you find that this anxiety is starting to affect your life, then you might be suffering from clinical anxiety. If you are suffering from prolonged anxiety, here are 6 steps you can take to help you overcome anxiety. Step number 1. Recognize what triggers your anxiety. Your anxiety may stem from a fear of traveling, meeting new people, talking with your boss, worrying about the future, or any number of things. Start to keep a diary and record symptoms, situations, and thoughts that make you feel anxious. Step number 2. Analyze your thoughts when you're anxious. You'll want to try to identify specific thought distortions. Cognitive therapy often recognizes anxiety as a result of biased thinking, including mind reading. He thinks I'm a loser. Fortune telling. Something bad will happen. Personalizing. She's yawning because I'm boring. Catastrophic thinking. It would be terrible if. These kinds of thoughts are likely to reflect your perception of a threat and the belief that you need to control things around you. Step number 3. Challenge your negative thinking. There are always various ways to view things. Carefully look at the evidence for and against the negative thought. Challenge these negative thoughts. Step back and ask yourself, what kind of advice would I give a friend? Step number 4. Practice your fear. Take some time to identify some of the situations that are causing you anxiety. Step back from the situation that is causing you to become anxious and visualize in detail you facing the fear and getting through it. Then start to gradually practice doing something that you fear to help you realize that your worries are generally worse than the reality. Step number 5. Be willing to be anxious. If you want to overcome anxiety, you have to be willing to be anxious. If you aren't ready to go through the process of being worried, then you will never be able to get past your anxiety. Step number 6. Accept uncertainty and imperfection. To make progress, you have to understand that you don't always have to be perfect. You don't need to know how to do something for sure to do it. It is always better to do it than to spend time worrying about it. You don't have to let anxiety rule your life. Take these 6 steps to free your mind from its anxious thoughts and get on with your life. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to keep a gratitude journal and be thankful for the entire year. Over the past decade, psychology researchers have identified the great psychological, social, and physical benefits that come from giving thanks, and have discovered the best practices to help you reap those benefits. One of the most popular of these practices is the gratitude journal. To ensure that you experience all the benefits that keeping a gratitude journal can bestow upon you, you want to remember these tips. Tip number 1. Don't just go through the motions. To truly benefit from your gratitude journal, you need to make the conscious decision that you want to become happier and more grateful in your life. Doing this will provide you with the motivation to become happier, which plays a significant role in the effectiveness of journaling. Tip number 2. Go for depth over breadth. Various studies have shown that elaborating in detail about what you're grateful for will provide you with more benefits than jotting down a superficial list of numerous things. Take the time when you're writing in your journal to include more details about what you are grateful for. Tip number 3. Get personal. Rather than focus on the things that you are grateful for, try focusing more on the people that you are thankful for. Getting more personal in your gratitude journal will have a more significant impact than merely listing those things in your life that you are grateful for. Tip number 4. Try subtraction. A handy way of stimulating gratitude in your life is to take the time to reflect on what your life would be like without your blessings. Rather than tallying up all the good things in your life, look at where you would be and what you'd be experiencing if those blessings weren't a part of your life. Tip number 5. Savor surprises. Surprises and unexpected blessings tend to bring on stronger levels of gratitude. So when you're surprised with an unexpected blessing, be sure to record the events in as much detail as possible. Tip number 6. Don't overdo it. Writing just once or twice a week is much more beneficial than writing in your gratitude journal every day. Studies have shown that writing in your journal only once a week for 6 weeks can boost your happiness more than people who write in their journals 3 times a week. Keeping a gratitude journal is about forcing yourself to pay attention to the good things in life that you tend to take for granted and can help you establish the habit of paying closer attention to the world around you. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can start practicing gratitude today and begin living a happier and healthier life. Recent studies have shown that the practice of gratitude can increase happiness levels by 25%, and the effect can last up to 6 months. The best way to make gratitude a habit is to mix up your gratitude practice and find one that resonates most with you. Here are several ways to start practicing gratitude today. Post words, photos, and objects of gratitude in your home. Placing inspirational objects throughout your home is a great way to get started and stay motivated. Place these items in areas that are visible and let them remind you to stop and be grateful for everything in your life. Find out what motivates you to be grateful and place this where they can remind you every day. Incorporate gratitude into your morning routine. Each morning as you are getting ready or warming up for your daily exercise, do some breathing exercises to get you in the right mindset. Then start thinking about all the things that you are grateful for in your life. Start with your body, brain, and muscles and go from there. If you're outside, take notice of the weather and the landscape around you and be thankful for the beauty. Write thank you notes. When someone truly touches your heart, write them a thank you note. You can also send thank you notes just because and tell them that you are thinking of them and that you feel grateful for their friendship. While this is relatively simple, it can be beneficial in your gratitude practice. Practice mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness will help you appreciate each moment. Focus on the present and notice everything that is around you. Using all of your senses, focus on what you see, hear, smell, feel, and taste. Experiencing the things that are right in front of you is one of the surest ways to keep a grateful heart. Acknowledge one ungrateful thought per day and replace it. If you catch yourself thinking an ungrateful thought, stop and add something grateful. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "My coworker never does anything right," stop and add something grateful like, "But she really does have a great attitude and I know she's trying." Being able to alter your thoughts gives you the power to change your life. If you're not used to practicing gratitude in your life, these simple exercises can get you started today. In this presentation, I'm going to show you simple ways you can practice gratitude. Gratitude is an extremely powerful emotion. one that can improve your life in a variety of ways. Research indicates that regular gratitude practice not only boosts your mental well-being, but your physical health as well. Here are some simple ways you can make gratitude a part of your day. Keep a gratitude journal. Before you go to bed at night, sit down with a piece of paper and pen and write down everything that you are grateful for that day. These daily entries can be identical to or radically different from the previous entries. It doesn't matter. It's a physical manifestation of counting your blessings. You don't have to do this at the end of the day, but it can be done throughout the day as you complete your daily activities. Think about what you're grateful for before getting out of bed. This allows you to think about what you're grateful for without having to hunt down pen and paper. Remembering things that you are thankful for while you are still in bed will ensure that you wake up with a smile and keep that smile throughout the day. Say a little prayer. The term prayer is used loosely, but when you are presented with a gift that you are thankful for, take a moment to appreciate it by whispering a word of thanks. This can help you connect with the many blessings in real time and helps you learn to understand the source of those things. Perform a random act of kindness. Start to recognize how much you have by giving back to others. Not only will the random act of kindness make you feel good about yourself, but it will also provide you with a deeper connection to the positive energy that surrounds you. Random acts of kindness can help create the right energy that you are surrounded by. Appreciate the beautiful moments. When a moment strikes you as beautiful or pleasant, take a moment to stop and revel in it. Allow yourself to truly enjoy the feelings it brings you and appreciate even the smallest positive that the world has to offer you. Practicing gratitude helps to keep you grounded. It can help to calm your material instincts from today's society of instant gratification and materialism. It could remind you that you have the chance to live and be happy with who you are in the moment. Why gratitude is important to practice year-round. In this presentation, I'm going to explain why gratitude is important to practice if you want to live a happy and fulfilling life. Gratitude is a state of mind that is developed from truly appreciating what you have in life. When you can be grateful for everything that you have, you are much more likely to be content. It fights off negative feelings. Practicing gratitude throughout the year can help you fight off negative feelings. Everyone has bad days from time to time and can feel down in the dumps. By thinking about all the things that you are grateful for, it can steer our focus away from the negative and toward the positives. Affects your attitude. The number one factor for determining success is your attitude. Being grateful for the things you have in your life can substantially change your overall outlook in life. Rather than being disappointed in everything that you don't have, gratitude allows you to be thankful for what you do, which can dramatically alter your ability to find success. It boosts well-being. Continually being mindful of all the things that you have to be thankful for can boost your overall well-being. A study published in 2003 in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology detailed how daily exercise practices and the listing of things that you are thankful for are both linked with a brighter outlook on life. It benefits the heart. According to a 1995 study, appreciation and positive emotions are directly linked to changes in heart rate variability. This can be beneficial in the treatment of hypertension and in decreasing the likelihood of sudden death in those with coronary artery disease and congestive heart failure. It benefits the immune system. Gratefulness has been linked to optimism, which in turn has been connected with better immune health. A study conducted by the University of Utah shows that optimistic law students who were stressed out had more immune-boosting blood cells than their more pessimistic counterparts. Gratitude makes you a better friend. Being grateful can boost your pro-social behaviors, according to a 2003 study appearing in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. Practicing gratitude